In this video, we are going to learn how to make a grid to design icons. So many a times we might not find icons that are correct for our content. So what we do is we create them. So first, let us design a layout for it. Now we can choose a customized artboard 1080 by 1080 or whatever you want over here. You can change the width and height. So create. Now we have our artboard ready. Now what I want you to do is I want you to make a square. Okay, so we choose the rectangle. We can hold shift and drag to make a perfect square, or we just have to left click once and then the dimensions will appear. So here you can give the dimension of this square, which can be 200 and 200 pixels. So we have a square. We don't want any fill and we want a black stroke. That's right. Now let me zoom in a bit. We are going to work on this. Now what I want you to do is I want to draw a circle inside the square. So choose the ellipse tool here and you can either hold shift. So when you draw like this, it's basically an ellipse, but we want a perfect circle. So we hold down shift and drag to get a perfect circle, or we can just left click once and enter the dimensions of our circle. So I want the circle to be 200 into 200 as well. Okay. Now align it properly. Yeah, there you go. Now what I want you to do is I want you to make two lines horizontally and vertically. So pick the line segment tool and draw it. So it might go here and there, so just hold shift and drag it so that it's a straight line. The same way, do it horizontally, hold shift, and draw a straight line. So after it's done, make sure that all the sides are aligned properly. It's very important that they touch. Okay, perfect. Now we want some diagonal lines. From here, hold shift to here, and from here to here. Now make sure that these are aligned properly as well. Okay. Okay, but this can be a bit higher. So you have to select this direct selection tool to move the anchor a bit up. Like that. Okay. Now let us check it here. This is coming outside. So here is the anchor. So just adjust it properly. Coming to this side. It looks okay. So let us go to the next step. Now what we want to do is we want to draw a square inside this circle. So what we do is we take the selection tool, we select the square, we make a duplicate, Control C, Control V, There's a duplicate. Okay, so make sure you place it properly. Now hold shift and alt and drag it down. Okay, see that it fits exactly. Perfect. Now what I want you to do next is do the same thing to the circle, that is Control C, Control V. There's a duplicate circle. Align it properly first. Okay, is it aligned? Yes, it is. Now hold shift, hold alt and drag it down inside the square like this. Perfect. Now what I want you to do is hold alt, okay, hold alt and drag this line outside. So we have this line segment. So if you give an offset path to this line segment 50 pixels, what it does is it creates a rectangle like this on either sides. So 50 pixels and 50 pixels. I want you to do the same thing to the vertical line and the horizontal line. Okay, so Control Z, Control Z, select both the lines, select this, hold shift and select the horizontal line as well. Object, path, offset path, 50 pixels. Okay, now as you can see, there's another square over here. I want a circle inside that square. Okay, so Control C, Control V gives us another circle. So place it in the center. Now hold shift and alt and size it down in such a way that it fits in the square. Now last but not the least, I want to create one more circle. Okay, select this ellipse tool and left click once. I want the size of the circle to be 50 pixels into 50 pixels. Okay, pick the selection tool and bring it to the center like that. Now our layout is ready. Let us see how we can design different icons. Let us see how we can design a circle. Let's draw the circle first. Choose the ellipse tool and start drawing a circle by holding shift. We don't want any fill, so remove the fill and drag it to adjust the size. Okay, so I want stroke black color with 15 pixels. So there you go. Now we thought that our icon should be inside this square and inside the circle. So what we can do is we can align this newly made circle with this circle. So just hold shift and drag it. Okay, now we can also increase the size of the circle a little bit like this, and then we have some space here to make the now let us make the rest of it. So for that you need to select the line segment tool. You can start from here or here and just hold shift and drag it. Okay, line segment, as well as the circle. Go to object and say expand. Make sure that fill and stroke are selected and click OK. Now this is in the form of a shape. So what we have to do is we need to select it. It's already selected, or select it like this. Go to the direct selection tool. Now you see that there are these small tiny little dots appearing. So they are to make the rounded corners. They are used to make rounded corners. So let us make them rounded like this. You just have to drag them. Drag outside, they'll turn sharper, drag it inside and they'll turn rounder. That's it. Your search icon is ready. So Control G to group them. And here it is. Similarly, you can design different types of icons from the same layout with the same size and reuse the layout.